Oh, I was just a child. I started with Ginny dolls. My mother, God bless her, let me wear things I made. I know people thought she made them, so it was really kind of her to let me wear them. And then on into high school, my father would give me money for fabric, and not necessarily for clothes. And there was a fabric store I could walk to, and it's a no-brainer from there. Well, I like big projects just for the fun of the two jackets, the skirt, the slacks, the blouse. But my favorite things are almost always wool or really fine silks, just because they're guaranteed to come out beautifully, even if they're very, very simple. The events that I sew for, years ago, were many more formal events than there are now. I don't know if people are going to fewer because of money situations, or if there just are less formal events, people are dressing more casually. I do a lot of what I would call business attire, but in just really fine fabrics. I have one customer in particular who does a lot of public speaking, and she has always said she doesn't want people looking at her clothes and thinking about, I've seen that at such and such a store and I know how much it costs. They want everyone listening to her. My favorite fabrics are just about always woolens or cashmeres or combinations of wools and silks, because they're so textural and they can be tailored so well. Colors are always, they can be so vibrant in wool, and of course silk, a really fine silk. So I guess it's all more about the fabric, and the colors are just secondary to what will show up in a beautiful fabric. The detailing is huge. A lot of what I do, someone will hand me a fistful of perhaps catalog pictures. I want this color, but can I have this little flip in back, and look at these big cuffs, can they be on there too? And the answer is usually yes, I mean in moderation, but that's the whole point of having something made. You get those details you really wanted in that jacket that was in that horrible green you didn't want to buy, but oh, wasn't the detailing gorgeous. Bound buttonholes are something I've always done and feel very strongly about, because they are so totally couturier. And I think it's important. It's a casual little jacket, but it should still have bound buttonholes, because Chanel would. So that's kind of my theory on a lot of the detailing. The fall shows were inspiring to me because I think they're trying to be practical. I mean, that's pretty new. The spring colors were a real muted palette, combined well, will combine with things you already have. The skirt lengths weren't ridiculous. Things were feminine but not ridiculously girly. I think they finally figured out that we're tired of wasting our money. Give me something I can wear 20 years and with a lot of different things. This is a project I'm getting ready to start. Beautiful piece of beaded silk chiffon from a fabric store I use a lot, Banksville Designer Fabrics in Connecticut. We have a relationship and they would be glad to send anybody plenty of samples, but they send a little sample book out to me every season. And this is just going to be like a little simple cardigan, and then somewhere we're going to do edging in a silk taffeta, and it will be something she can put over a black velvet dress or jeans and a black t-shirt. She'll look great. And here we have a gorgeous piece of wool and cashmere. This is from B&J Fabrics in New York. It's going to be an unlined coat. This client loves this sort of color, and it suits her so well with her bubbly personality. But and the same, besides being beautiful, it is incredibly practical. I think we don't really need heavy coats in a lot of what we do. Just need to throw it on. And it's going to show all the seaming beautifully. But fabric's out there, not necessarily in Ohio, but it's out there. This is another wonderfully textural piece. I would say it's probably wool and silk. It's just gorgeous. I I think we're doing a suit with it. I can't honestly remember, at least a jacket. It's got a lot of the colors this client wears a lot, the teal navy and these beautiful blues. So this will be a jacket she will wear with tons of other things we've already done. But it's very soft, it's going to tailor wonderfully. Something a lot of people don't understand is that I don't sew for Barbies. These are normal people who want to look their best, which can be really tough if you're high-waisted, long-waisted. None of those jackets on the rack are hitting you in the right place. You're getting a flounce where one doesn't belong. And people think there's certain styles they can't wear, which is true off the rack, but you can wear that style when it's made for you and your proportions. My clients, some of them are very tiny, but a lot of them are normal-sized, healthy, I like to say, and you put on a gorgeous fabric. Done very simply, all those body flaws disappear. I mean, you're all about fabric. And I think that's what works, what pulls it all together for people, what makes them feel good. Where does fabric come from? That's a toughie in Ohio. We lose a fabric store every week. It seems like there's nothing in Columbus. There's nothing in Cleveland. The only big place in Cincinnati is gone. And God love Joanne Fabrics, but it's not about beautiful dress fabrics. So part of the process is we talk, we figure out what it is you want. You can talk to me about colors. You know, I'll take over knowing what kind of fabric you mean. I have samples. We'll say, is this how you want it to feel? And then I'll get samples sent to you. And then we'll figure out if you like any of them. But all this adds to the turnaround time, unfortunately, so I can't say, yes, I'll make you a dress next week. There are those of you who have been collecting fabric forever from all over the world, and that's great fun. And I have done many fabrics that people have had for 25, 30 years. And it's fun, you know, that silk I bought in Hong Kong that I was saving all this time. It's great fun to do that. But we can find you fabric, but it adds a couple weeks to the process. But they're out there in Chicago and New York and the East Coast. We'll find you what you're looking for.